It was supposed to be a casual evening with friends, a small party at our neighbor's house. I dressed in my favorite outfit, wore my best smile, and prepared myself to have a little fun. My husband, Daniel, was there, standing quietly by the drinks table, chatting politely with a few people he knew. He wasn't flashy, and he wasn't loud, but he had a kind heart, and I used to love that about him. But lately, something in me had changed. I didn't feel the same warmth. I started feeling bored, restless, and resentful, even though I had never admitted it aloud. As the night progressed, I began making small, funny jabs at him in front of our friends. Little jokes about his habits, the way he dressed, how he held his glass. At first, everyone laughed politely. I felt a rush, like I had the spotlight, and Daniel was the punchline. But as the evening continued, my teasing escalated. I began mocking him openly, exaggerating everything for comedic effect. I even imitated his walk and the way he spoke. The room filled with laughter at his expense. I could see his face tightening, jaw clenching, but I ignored it. I thought it was harmless fun. Finally, I crossed the line. "Honestly, Daniel," I said loud enough for everyone to hear, "sometimes I wonder why I married you at all. You're so boring, predictable. It's a miracle you put up with me." The laughter grew louder, some of it nervous, some genuine. But Daniel didn't laugh. His eyes locked on mine, and I felt something in him shift. He didn't speak immediately. Instead, he took a deep breath, straightened his posture, and walked slowly toward me. The room went quiet. I could feel the tension thickening. The friends who were laughing began to exchange uneasy glances. Daniel stopped in front of me. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't accuse or insult. He simply looked at me with a calm, piercing gaze. "I think it's time we end this," he said softly, but firmly. "What? Are you joking?" I laughed nervously, trying to brush it off. "You're overreacting. It's just a joke. Everyone was laughing." He shook his head. "No, it's not a joke. You've humiliated me tonight, in front of our friends. And it's not the first time you've done this." I tried to ignore it, tried to forgive it, but I can't anymore. I felt my stomach drop. "Daniel, wait, we can talk about this." He held up his hand, stopping me mid-sentence. "There's nothing to talk about. I can't be married to someone who mocks me, belittles me, and doesn't respect me. Not in private, not in public, and certainly not tonight." The silence in the room was deafening. Friends shifted uncomfortably, realizing the gravity of the moment. I don't understand," I stammered. "You're leaving me over a joke?" "It wasn't a joke," he said, his voice calm but resolute. "It was betrayal. And betrayal is not something I can forgive. I'm done." He walked to the door, leaving me frozen in place, the laughter and fun of the party evaporating like smoke. In the following days, Daniel filed for divorce. He didn't yell, he didn't fight, he didn't make a scene. He simply moved forward with dignity, reclaiming his life. I tried to reach out, to apologize, but he didn't respond. His decision was final. Friends and family who had witnessed the party told me later that they had been shocked, not just at the public humiliation, but at the quiet, powerful way he handled the situation. Daniel didn't need revenge. He didn't need drama. He simply stood up, walked away, and ended our marriage forever. Over time, I realized the depth of what I had lost. I had thought mocking him was harmless fun, but in reality, I had destroyed the trust, respect, and love that had once bound us. Months later, Daniel had moved into a new apartment, started new routines, and rebuilt his life around dignity and self-respect. I was left alone, haunted by the memory of that party and the moment he looked at me and said, "I'm done." The lesson was clear. Betrayal isn't always loud or violent. Sometimes it's quiet, deliberate, and devastating. Daniel's choice reminded me that respect is earned, trust is fragile, and humiliation has lasting consequences. He didn't need to fight me or yell. He simply took control of his life and walked away. And in doing so, he left me with a memory that will never fade. The night I mocked my husband, and he ended our marriage forever. I learned, far too late, that loyalty and love can't be replaced by jokes or mockery. And that sometimes, the most powerful action is standing up, walking away, and never looking back.